and welcome back to Self-Advocacy in Action TV show. I am your host, Engelic Everett. I am thrilled to be sitting and chatting with a new friend, Courtney Spencer. Hope I said that right.
You did.
All the way from Jamestown, New York. New York is in the house. She is an advocate and certified in child development. So glad to have you on SA in Action TV show. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You're very welcome. And plus I get to interview you too, so I'm happy. All right, let's do this. So tell me about Courtney.
I am 37 and I have cerebral palsy. I live in Jamestown. I have a cat and I like to play a lot of video games.
Ooh, okay. So tell me a little bit more about that, like in general. Like what do
Um,
you do?
I went to school for education and child development and I started participating slightly in some advocacy in June at DD Day of this year. So I'm relatively new.
Oh, okay. Like it's a new friend, so yes. So okay. How did you learn about the marriage penalty?
I had a few friends mention it before, and then when I started becoming serious in my relationship, and then when DD Day opportunity was given to me to present, I thought I would look into it more for a topic for the DD Day table, and that's how I found out about it more.
Oh, okay. So what did you do for the DD Day table for this marriage penalty?
We had, my partner and I had two different topics, marriage with a disability, discussing the marriage penalty, and the need for transportation down here in the southern tier. And we created some posters and some online petitions and presented everything. And we gave away some freebies and talked to whoever came by.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, it was my first experience, so it was a little intimidating, but it ended up being a nice time.
But that's good. All right. Well, did you do like before going to the next question, do you do like any research on the marriage penalty?
I did. I had spoke to a couple people that mentioned it to me before, and then with the help of my life coach and also my friend who was my partner for the DD Day table, we did research on the internet and various blogs and government websites to see what we could come up with.
Oh, okay. What is the marriage penalty?
The marriage penalty is a penalty, as it says, for people with Social Security, SSI specifically, that when you get married, whether you're married to an able-bodied individual or someone else who's disabled and on SSI, you face cuts on your income and your services.
Okay. Can you elaborate a little bit more about that before I get into
Yes,
the next question?
sure. Um, the marriage penalty happens when someone is on SSI and they decide to get married. It's not 100% certain. It's a range of different things, but your SSI can get cut as well as your aid services and coverage for like your wheelchairs and walkers because you got married.
Oh, that's not good.
No,
That's sad. That is sad.
it is. It's unfair.
Yes, it is.
And I didn't know about this before really, really researching for DD Day, and it surprised me. So I thought it was important to talk about.
I agree about that. I kind of did a little bit of my research as well too. So, yeah. How much? Whoa. How much can you be cut from SSI when you get married?
The scale that I found, and that could change, I would have to check, but the scale that I found when doing research for DD Day said as small of a chunk, which isn't very small, as 25% up to like 75% and maybe 90%. It all depends on what the Social Security Administration deems.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay.
It is. It could be as little as 25%, which is still a lot. And then depending on your spouse's income or the circumstances, it could go all the way to where it said that they could only give people like as little as $9 a month in SSI.
Oh, man.
So it's a big range, but at the very least 25%.
Whoa. That's low.
It is.
Are there any other benefits that can be effective?
To be independent if you have mobility needs as well.
Oh, hmm, okay. That ain't good.
No.
Uh, what's being what's being done about it?
Currently, there is some bills trying to get passed through Congress that are trying to eliminate the marriage penalties, and the 25% income cuts and the other benefit cuts so that we can keep all of our services to keep us independent as well as keep our income, but still get married like everyone else.
They was talking about that with that the Patrice lady I was telling you about.
Yes.
And they were talking about how Congress is thinking about starting to make changes now for that.
Yes, they are. Um, when I was doing my research, I found 4 or 5 bills that are currently in progress through Congress. They haven't been completely passed yet, but they're working on them.
Well, when I see that, if I see that clip again, I would definitely send that to you.
Please do. I'd be interested in watching it.
Okay. 'Cause I was surprised when,
Being mentioned.
yes, I'm happy about that. Yes. All right. Where am I? Oh, could you could you meet with a benefit specialist if you want to get married?
That's a great question, and I believe that if you're thinking about marriage, you absolutely should meet with a benefit specialist because they'll be able to give you an idea of what possible cutbacks you could face because they'll be able to talk to you about everybody's income and about what could happen because you can still get married, you just have to prepare yourself for the penalties.
Yeah, I agree about that. Oh, what can people do about that?
I feel like they should speak out about it, mention it, and you should absolutely talk to your Congress and your government officials in your state and your cities and let them know that you're in support of passing the bills for the Marriage Penalty Act and make sure that it's common knowledge that everyone knows that those of us with disabilities on SSI face consequences for wanting to get married so that things can change.
I definitely agree about that. Anything else that you want to mention about? Because I don't think I have any more questions to ask you.
I just wanted to mention that I did find out that there's something called, I believe it's called like withholding. I might have to check on that for sure. But if couples are together and are engaged and living together and acting as a married couple, but aren't actually getting married because they don't want to face the penalties, and the Social Security Administration finds out about that, they can still penalize you as if you're legally married.
Oh, oh
And
my,
that's something I just recently found out about. It's not anything that I knew about because I figured you could still live together or be engaged as long as you want. But if they deem that you're withholding getting married to not lose benefits, you could still face cuts.
that's messed up.
And yeah, it's very, very tricky.
Yeah,
But it's not to say that anybody shouldn't get married or should be worried about getting married. I just think that you should be prepared and you should talk to the benefits specialists and you should talk to whomever you can get like advice from.
I definitely agree. Okay. Yeah, I always come up with a quote on my show, so I thought this time it'd be kind of nice to kind of put a quote out here for us in action. So, and I know that you might like this one. So, once you stop rushing through life, you will be amazed at how much more you like, and how much more life can have time for.
That's actually a really nice quote.
Thank you. I got it from a book that I got from a really good friend of mine. This has been another episode of Self Advocacy in Action TV show. I'm your host, Engelic Everett. Now I want to say thanks to my special guest and newest friend. Thanks, Courtney.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Now don't forget to use Essay in Action to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By the way, you can even follow me on my own YouTube channel, which is The Angelique Show. I would love that if y'all did. If you like what you see, please subscribe.